Welcome to Stories Found. Each week we feature funny, weird, and mostly true stories from writers, artists, and storytellers around the world. I'm your host, Ava Love Hanna, a writer and humorist from Austin, Texas. Joining me is my writing partner, audio engineer, and all-around cool guy, Paul Hanna. You're listening to Stories Found. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Stories Found. It's a special week. It's about to be my birthday. And somehow my son is starting 7th grade. So as a special treat to myself, I decided to take a trip back in time and share one of my favorite stories from the early days of parenting. You know, the simpler times before a global pandemic, junior high, and having a soon-to-be teenager in the house were all converging. Back when all I had to worry about was dealing with a precocious 4-year-old. I thought my hands were full then. Well, today I'll be sharing a story that in hindsight is now one of my favorite parenting moments. The first time my 4-year-old asked me about genitals. I thought I would simply answer him in a straightforward and scientific way, and that would be that. It did not go as planned. I'm your storyteller this week, Ava Love Hanna. I'm a humorist, published playwright, and award-winning speaker and storyteller based in Austin, Texas. I've told stories at Listen to Your Mother, Testify, The Tellers, Fray Cafe at South by Southwest Interactive, the Story Department, FronteraFest, and stages across the country. Most importantly, I am continually amazed by how often I'm mistaken for a real grown-up. Without further ado, here is The Vagina-Mommy Incident by Ava Love Hanna. Today, I went to use the restroom, and through the cracked door, I heard my 4-year-old saying, "Hey, you're going potty? But you don't have a weenie." I froze, partially because of my son's obvious lack of bathroom etiquette, and partially because I could sense there was something serious about this moment. My son was aware that we were different in a fundamental way, and that was probably a big deal. "Yes, you're right," I said slowly, trying to decide what to say next. I could hear the mixture of confusion and curiosity in his voice as he pondered the situation, and I wanted to help him understand. So in some delusional moment of overconfidence, I decided, hey, I really should teach him the correct terminology for our body parts. I can totally do that. I'm a grown-up, right? At this point, I should insert that despite technically being a grown-up, I'm really not. I feel about 12, maybe 14 on a good day. I just pretend to be a grown-up. I have perfected the ability to nod knowingly when other adults start to talk about designer kitchen cabinets or 401ks. I pay bills, I feed and clothe myself and my child, and I have advanced degrees in very mature things like English and communications. But inside, I feel like a little girl who somehow snuck into the grown-up world, and I'm certain that at any moment the real adults are going to catch on to this and take away my cool grown-up stuff like cars and alcohol. Despite feeling this way, I'm a good parent. No, I'm a great parent. I love my son with a devotion I didn't know I was capable of possessing. I am, however, constantly filled with self-doubt, especially when it comes to the more unexpected milestones, like the first time he asked me about genitals. Today, for some unknown reason, I was feeling super confident. Maybe it was the confusion in my son's voice, or my feeling of sadness that he was noticing that we were different, and my mom instincts went into overdrive. So I told him, in my most serious and mature voice, yes, I have a vagina. Now, I'm not exactly sure what I expected to happen next. Maybe he was supposed to say, "Oh, okay, Mommy, thanks." Or sit and nod knowingly, enlightened by the new information. Vagina. Instead, there was a pause. And then he giggled. Now, maybe he was laughing at the sound of the word. I mean, it is a funny sounding word. Or maybe he was laughing at me. But all I know is the next thing he says is, "Hey, Vagina-Mommy." What the hell? Did he really just call me Vagina-Mommy? I pretended not to hear him. And because I am an idiot, I kept talking as though nothing unusual had happened. I told him his weenie is actually called a penis. Boys and daddies have penises and girls and mommies have vaginas. The next thing he says is, "Hey, Vagina-Mommy, I'm Penis Kai." What the hell is happening here? Now I'm just standing there while he's dancing around the room spastically and calling me Vagina-Mommy over and over and over. He's breaking it down into syllables like a cheer. Vagina-Mommy, Vagina-Mommy. This sucks. I'm starting to panic at how quickly I lost control of the situation. And my brain is screaming, "Oh, I knew you weren't ready for this grown-up crap. Oh, you thought you could just tell your kid the proper name for body parts without thinking it through or asking other parents for advice. You thought you could just wing it. Well, now he's calling you Vagina-Mommy. That's what you get. Now suck it up and deal with it, Vagina Ava." Everything was suddenly in slow motion, like the moment before an accident. You can see it happening. Oh, you know it's bad. But there is nothing you can do to stop it. Here I was in mid-crash, and because I was still an idiot, I just kept talking, thinking I would somehow get out of it. So I told him, "Look, the words penis and vagina are special words about special parts of our bodies, and we don't really talk about them." It occurred to me then that this is exactly the kind of parenting moment that will probably screw up a person for the rest of his life. I might somehow give him genital shame or vaginophobia or something I've never heard of because I don't ever read parenting books. And so I told him, well, we can talk about them, but we definitely don't just call people by their genitals. Now, if there's something going on and you need to tell me about your penis, that's okay. You know, you can always talk to me about your penis. I was feeling pretty weird about that last sentence. The general rule about genitals is that society doesn't want you to talk about them, especially with children. And I can't figure out how to get out of this conversation with my 4-year-old without either giving him body issues or having him repeat things that make me sound like a genital-obsessed pervert. Look, maybe this situation would be easier to navigate if my son was dumb, but unfortunately he's not. He's incredibly intelligent, like evil genius intelligent. Moreover, he's hilarious and he has a great sense of timing, and I had just inadvertently given him the newest weapon in his comedic arsenal. Words that were kind of dirty and made grown-ups visibly uncomfortable. So as he stood there staring at me with his calculating 4-year-old eyes, getting ready to call me Vagina-Mommy yet again, I said the only thing I could think of to make it all go away. Hey, let's go watch a bunch of Transformers on Netflix. And with that, I expertly extracted myself from the genital talk for about 2 hours, until his dad came home and was greeted with an enthusiastic, "Hey, penis daddy!" At which point I promptly left the room. You've just heard The Vagina-Mommy Incident by Ava Love Hanna. If you'd like to hear more of my work or learn more about me as a writer and storyteller, check out my website, avalovehanna.com. You might also find more awesome parenting moments from me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check out the link to the video of me telling this story live at Listen to Your Mother in Austin, and read the transcript on our website, storiesfound.com. Thanks for listening to Stories Found. We've been your hosts, Ava Love Hanna and Paul Hanna. Get more info about this week's episode, subscribe to our newsletter, or submit your own story and be a featured storyteller in a future episode. You can do all that and more on our website, storiesfound.com. Stories Found was recorded at ELA Studios deep in the heart of Austin, Texas.